A set of instructions is called as what? Software. And a set of coded instructions stored, that is known as what? Firmware. In order to get a correct output, we are going to feed the instructions. So that may be in the form of numbers, text. So that is called as what? Data. Of course, without any instructions, computer does not perform any of the activity. So instructions has to be given. Hello everyone, I am Harshita, lecturer, Department of Commerce, Vidhyaashram PU College, the Temple of Excellence, Mysuru. My dear students, today we shall discuss 12th chapter of your first PUC Accountancy syllabus, and the chapter name is Applications of Computers in Accounting, and this is from Part B, that is your 12th chapter. And today we are in the first session. So this is a small chapter where you can expect 2 as well as 1 mark question. That is a theory question for 2 as well as 1 mark. So let us begin the session today. That is, we shall have an introduction about the computer. So most of you are aware about what is the role of computer in today's life. That is, due to the improvement in technology, how computer is being used in each and every activity. Correct? So computers plays a very important role in day-to-day life. Now, computer technology and its usage have registered a significant development during the last 3 decades. So here, due to the technology, the role of computer has been expanded. That is, our day itself starts with a computer. In the sense, each and every activity, what they are going to perform, so it is relating to the computer. That is, all the works are done with the help of computer. Historically, computers have been used effectively in science as well as technology to solve the complex computational as well as logical problems. So initially, computer was used, or it was confined just to science as well as technology. So in order to solve various types of problem, they were using this computer, that is in the field of science and technology. But now each and everywhere we can see the computers, correct? So how this, or in this chapter, you are going to learn how the computer is related to accounting. So how it is being used in terms of accounting. That is, we have learned about the manual accounting system, but now they are using the computer in order to solve the accounting problems. Okay, so we shall see how what is the role of computer in accounting. They have also been used for carrying out economic planning as well as forecasting process. So we know that computer is used in number of situations or in number of activities. So it is being used for economic planning as well as forecasting process. Recently, modern day computers have been made their presence felt in business as well as industry. Now we have come to our topic, that is how computer is being used in business, that is used in commerce. Now these days, computer is being also used in business as well as industry. Use of computer in the field of accounting is continuously increasing. So earlier, accounting was only confined for manual accounting, but due to the improvement in technology, now they are using the computer in accounting. That is, they are using various software as well as packages in accounting. So this is, or these concepts what you are going to learn in this particular chapter, that is how computer is being used in accounting. Now we shall see the meaning of computer. Now we had an introduction about the computer, that is earlier computer was confined only for science and technology. Later on, due to improvement in technology, now the computer is used in all the fields, that is in accounting also. Now, what is the meaning of computer? As I've told you, my dear students, you can expect only 2 as well as 1 mark question from this particular chapter, and you might get a practical oriented question for 5 marks. So, the weightage of this chapter is 1 mark, 1 question, 2 marks, 1 question, as well as 5 marks, that is practical oriented question. So, this is a total weightage of this particular chapter. Now let us see what is the meaning of computer. So they might ask for 1 or 2 marks. So later at the end of this session, I'll discuss what are the expected questions from this particular chapter. Now, a computer is an electronic device. Of course, we know computer is an electronic device which is capable of performing variety of operations. So, here computer is not confined only to a particular activity. So, it performs variety of activity or variety of operations as directed by a set of instructions. Now, as the humans gives the instructions to the computer, in the same way, it will perform all the activities. So, instructions has to be given to the computer so that it will perform the activity and gives us the output. So, this set of instructions is called as computer program. So, what is computer program? The set of activity which is performed by the computer is called as what? Computer program, or what the instructions which is being given to the computer. So it is termed as what? Computer program. So this is a question, or you might get a question, what is computer? So they might ask for 1 mark or for 2 marks. So hope you are clear with the meaning of computer. So what you have to remember, computer is an electronic device which performs variety of operations. How it performs variety of operations? By a set of instructions. A set of instructions has to be given to the computer so that it will perform variety of operations, and it is an electronic device. Now coming to the next concept, so we shall see the elements of computer system. So what are the elements of computer system? Now coming to the first one, hardware. Now what is this hardware which has some physical existence? That is known as what? Hardware. So hardware of computer consists of physical components. In the sense what? We can see that components. They are termed as what? Hardware. So hardware of computer consists of physical components such as keyboard, mouse, monitor and processor. So these are the hardwares where you can see those components. So they are termed as what? Hardware. These are electronic and electromechanical components. Of course, we know computer is an electronic device. So whatever the components which are related to that is also of electronic in nature. So hardware of computer consists of physical components. So this you have to remember. So it consists of physical components where you can see those components. For example, keyboard, mouse, monitor and processor. So these are electronic as well as electromechanic device. Okay. Now coming to the next one, software. So these are what? These are the elements of computer system. Now coming to the second one, software. So hardware has a physical existence, whereas software does not have the physical existence. So a set of programs which is used to work with such hardware is called as what? Software. Now a set of programs which is being used or which will work with a hardware is called as what? Software. A set or sets of programs which is used to work with such hardware. So whatever the programs which are used to perform along with the hardware is called as what? Software. A coded set of instructions. So computer does not perform its activity on its own. Here we have to give the instruction. So that instruction is called as what? Programs. I have already told you. So whatever the instructions which is being given to the computer in order to get the output, so that instruction is called as programs. Now what is software? It is a set of programs. So it is a set of programs which is being used with the hardware to get the correct output is called as what? Software. So, a coded set of instruction stored in the form of circuits is called as what? Firmware. So, a set of instructions is called as what? Software, and a set of coded instructions stored, that is known as what? Firmware. So, there are 3 types of software. So, let us see what are the 3 types of software. You might get a question. So, write any 2 types of software. So you can write any of the two types. So as I told you, the weightage of this chapter is either 1 mark or 2 marks. So they might ask a single sentence question, or with a 2 words or 2 sentence, like that the questions might be asked. Now, types of software. So the first one is system software, and the next one is application software, and the next one is utility software. So we shall discuss about these types of software in detail, that is in the next slide. So what are the 3 types of software here? System software, application software, as well as utility software. Now coming to the next one, that is people. So this is a third element of computer system, that is people. Now what do we mean by people? So people in the sense the user. The user of computer is called as what? People. So people interacting with the computer also called liveware of the computer system. That is, suppose I want to get some output from the computer. So I'll feed some instructions to the computer so that it will process the output. Now, myself is called as what? People. That is, user of computer system is called as people. Now, they constitute the most important part of the computer system. Of course, without any instructions, computer does not perform any of the activity. So, instructions has to be given. As per my requirement, I'll give some instructions to the computer so that it will process the output. Now, here user is called as what? People. So, people who interact with the computer or of the system analyst, programmers and operators. So the users may be analysts, programmers or operators. So they all termed as what? People. Next element of computer system is procedures. Now let us see what is this procedure. The procedure means a series of operations in a certain order or manner to achieve the desired result. So procedure means what? It is a step-by-step process, or it is what? It is a series of operations which is performed one by one in order to get the desired result or in order to get the correct output. So that step-by-step procedures or step-by-step process is called as what? Or a set of series of operations is called as what? Procedures. So there are 3 types of procedures which constitute part of computer system. So it is hardware oriented, software oriented, as well as internal procedure. So here you have to know the terms itself. Okay, so rest everything you will learn in your computer science subject. Okay, so there are 3 types of procedures. So we know about procedure. So procedure means what? It is a series of operations which is being performed in order to get the desired results. So in order to get the correct outputs, what are the series of operations that is being performed? That is known as what? Procedures. So procedures are of 3 types, that is hardware oriented, software oriented, as well as internal procedure. So these are the few elements. Next, coming to the next one, data. Now what do I mean by data? So you might have heard about this word. So what is data? So these are the facts and may consist of numbers, text, etc. So what is data? So in order to get a correct output, we are going to feed the instructions. So that may be in the form of numbers, text. So that is called as what? Data. So these are gathered and entered into the computer system. So in order to get the correct output, so we have to gather as well as enter into a computer system. So it may be in the form of text, or it may be in the form of numbers, or it may be in the form of symbols. So they are all termed as what? Data. The computer system in turn stores. Now whatever the instructions in the form of data is being entered into a computer, what the computer will do? Computer in turn, so it will store, it will retrieves, classifies, organizes and synthesizes the data to produce information according to the predetermined set of instructions. So whatever the data which is being entered into the computer system, computer will store the data, it will process the data, it will retrieve the data, and we will get the actual output as per the user's requirement. The data is therefore processed and organized. Now, the computer will process the data, it will organize the data to create information. Now, what is the difference between data as well as information? Data means what? It is a raw data or raw text or raw context. Okay, so that is known as data. After the processing of data, what the result we will get, that is called as what? Information. Now, the user will enter the data where the computer will process the data and gives the output in the form of information. So, data is therefore processed. So, first the data has been processed, entered as well as organized to create in the form of information that is relevant and can be used for decision making. Now here what happens? So there is a user, he enters the data and this data will be entered in the computer system. Computer will process the data and gives the information. So data is being converted to information in the computer. So data will be converted to information in the computer. Now coming to the next element, that is connectivity. Now what is this connectivity? So there should be a connection, right? As I have told you, it is an electronic device. So there should be a connection. So let us see what is this connectivity. So it is being acknowledged as a sixth element of computer system. So connectivity is a sixth element of the computer system. Already we have learnt about hardware, software, people, procedure, data, and the sixth one is connectivity. Now let us see what is this connectivity. The manner in which a particular computer system is connected to others, say through telephone, then microwave transmission, satellite link, etc. is the element of connectivity. So here the computer system is not alone, so it is connected to number of devices. So those devices, those connecting devices is called as what? Connectivity. So connectivity is the sixth element of the computer system where computer does not work by itself. So it has to be connected to number of devices. So it may be through telephone lines or microwave or satellite or transmissions. So those connection is called as what? Connectivity. So these are the few elements of computer system. Okay. So you might get a question for 2 marks. Write any 2 elements of computer system or explain hardware or what is software. So like that they might ask a question for 2 or as well as 1 mark. Now coming to the next concept, let us see what are the types of software here. So we shall see what are the various types of software. Now coming to the first one, operating system. So we'll call it as OS. So the best example for operating system is Microsoft Windows. Microsoft Windows is the best example for operating system. So, an integrated set of specialized programs. Now, when you open the computer, you cannot directly start working in the computer. So, there should be a set of program which has to be entered or which has to be installed. So, that is known as what? Operating system. So, an integrated set of specialized programs that are meant to manage the resources of the computer and also facilitate its operation is called as operating system. Now, what do you mean by operating system? The system which operates the whole computer is called as operating system. So, it is a integrated set of specialized programs. So, it contains a number of specialized programs which is being installed into the computer so that all the activities of the computer is operated properly. So that is known as what? Operating system. As I told you, the best example for operating system is Microsoft Windows, where it contains integrated set of specialized programs which help the user to perform various activities. So this is a first type of software. Now coming to the next one, utility programs. Now what is this utility program? So these are the set of computer programs which are designed to perform certain supporting operations. Now what do you mean by utility program? So the best example will be antivirus. So here, in order to support those programs, so whatever which is there in the computer system, in order to support those programs, certain specialized programs will be entered or certain specialized programs will be performed. They are known as what? Utility programs. So these are the set of computer programs, so which are related to the computer programs which are designed to perform certain supporting operations. So in order to perform certain supporting operations, so this utility program is being used. Next one is application software. So in order to perform a specific task, so certain programs will be used. They are termed as what? Application software. So the best example is MS Word. So in order to perform these or in order to perform a specific task, certain programs will be used. They are termed as what? Application software. So these are the user oriented. So it depends upon the user. For example, if the user wants to use MS Word, then he can use this application software, okay, or he want to use the Microsoft PowerPoint, then he can use this application software. So it depends upon the interest of the user. So if he wants to do a specific task, then he can install these programs. So these are the user oriented programs. So it is according to the interest of the users, designed and developed for performing certain specific tasks. So in order to perform a specific task, according to the interest of the users, so he will conduct this activity. So that is known as what? Application software. Next one is language processors. So what is this language processors? Here the word itself says that it is relating to the language. Okay. So these are the software which check the language syntax and eventually translate the source. So here one language can be translated to any other languages. So that is known as what? Language processors. So these are the software which check the language syntax and eventually translate the source program into machine language. So here translation takes place here. That is from one language to another language. That is known as what? Language processors. Next one is system software. So this is or these are the software which is there in the system. Okay. So these are the set of programs which control internal functions. So in order to conduct the internal functions or in order to do the activities in the computer internally. So here system software is being used. So these are the set of programs which control the internal functions that ensures the components are functioning properly. So in order to see whether all the components are functioning properly or not, so this internal software or the system software is being used. Next one is connectivity software. So here this is relating to the connectivity or connection. So these are the set of programs which create and control connection between the computer and the server. So it is a mediator between the computer as well as server. So here it acts as a connector. So here these are the set of programs which creates connection between the computer as well as server. So these are the various types of softwares. So they might ask, write any 2 type of software. That is for 2 marks. As I told you, these are the very simple chapters in accounting where you can expect 1 mark, 2 mark as well as 5 marks practical oriented question from this chapter. That is, all the theory part will be discussed here. So these are the various types of softwares. Now coming to the expected questions. So what type of questions they might ask in your exam? So till now, what are the concepts we have discussed? I am going to take few of the questions from there and let us see what are the expected questions they might ask in your exam from this chapter. Now, if you see the meaning of computer, that is a concept relating to meaning of computer. So you might get a question, what is computer? So they might ask for 1 mark or for 2 marks also. That is, what is computer? So how you have to write here? A computer is an electronic device. As I told you, it is an electronic device which is capable of performing variety of operations. So computer is not confined only to certain activity. It provides variety of operations, or it performs variety of operations as directed by a set of instructions. So how the user is going to direct the computer? By giving some instruction. On the basis of that, computer performs variety of operations. So they might ask for 1 or 2 marks. That is, what is computer? So how you have to write? It is an electronic device which provides or which performs variety of operations by a set of instructions which is given by the users. This set of instruction is called as what? Computer program. So those set of instructions which is given by the users is called as what? Programs. So this is the first question. Now coming to the next concept we have discussed today is elements of computer system. So under elements of computer system, you can expect this question. State any 2 elements of computer system. So this is for 2 marks. State any 2 elements of computer system. Just you have to state here. So I have given all the elements here. You can write any of the 2 elements. So what are the elements? Hardware, software, people, procedure, data as well as connectivity. You can write any of the 2. That is, they have just asked 2 elements of computer system. Now coming to the next question under elements, that is under the topic elements of computer. So state any 1 element of computer. So they have just asked 1 element. So this is for 1 marks. So where you can write any of the elements. So there are 6 elements like hardware, software, people, procedure, data as well as connectivity. So they have just asked 1. You can write any 1. So here I have given 2, but you can write any 1 element of computer system. Next question, what is hardware? So they might ask for 1 or 2 marks. So this question they might ask for 1 mark or for 2 marks. So what is this hardware? So when you listen the word hardware, you have to remember which has the physical component. They are termed as what? Hardware. So hardware means what? Physical components of computer such as keyboard, mouse, monitor and processors. So these are what? Hardware. So just remember the word which has the or which is the physical component of computer system. Now coming to the next question, what is software? So they might ask for 1 or 2 marks. So how you can write? A set of programs. So software means what? It is a set of programs which is used to work with the hardware. So whatever the programs which is being used along with the hardware, they are termed as what? Software. So what you have to remember here? So it is a set of programs which is being used with the hardware. In order to get the desired output, what are the set of programs which is being used with the hardware? They are termed as what? Software. So they might ask for 1 mark or for 2 marks also. Okay. Now coming to the next question, that is the 5th one. Explain the types of software. So if they ask this question, so normally they will not ask. Suppose they will ask, then explain the types of software. So this will be for 6 marks. That is a theory question for 6 marks where you have to explain all the types of software. So what are the types of software? So we have operating system. So what do you mean by operating system? So it is an integrated set of specialized programs. So in order to run the computer system, a set of integrated programs, they are termed as what? Operating system. So the best example is what? That is Microsoft Office. So this is an operating system. So already we have discussed this. Next, utility program. So what is this utility program? Which are designed to perform certain supporting operations. So in order to perform certain supporting operations, so they are known as what? Utility programs. So the best example is antivirus. So in order to protect from the virus, so a supporting program is being used. That is known as what? Utility programs. Next one is application software. So in order to perform a specific task, so what are the programs which are being used? They are known as what? Application software. It may be MS Word or Microsoft PowerPoint. So in order to perform that specific task, what the user is going to use, that is known as what? Application software. Next one is language processor. That is in order to convert into other language. So this language processor is being used. Next one is system software. So what is this? It is also a set of programs in order for the internal control or in order to control the internal functions of the computer system. So this system software has been used. Next one is connectivity software. So here a set of or a computer is connected to number of devices. So what the software has been used? That is known as what? Connectivity software. So these are the set of programs which create and control the connection between the computer as well as server. So it is a mediator or it is a interlink between the computer as well as a server. So that is termed as connectivity software. So this type of questions they might ask for 6 marks where I have to explain each and every type of softwares. Next question, state any 2 types of software. So they have just asked 2, in the sense it is for 2 marks. So you can write any of the 2 types of software. So you have number of software here like operating system, utility programs, application software, language processors, system software as well as connectivity software. You can write any of the 2. That is for 2 marks. No need to explain, just you have to mention. Okay, so this is for 2 marks question. Next one is state any 1 type of software. So this is for 1 mark. So you can write any 1 type of software. It may be operating system or utility software or language processors. Any one you can write. Next one is what are procedures? So we have discussed about it, procedures. Now what is this procedure? They might ask for 1 or 2 marks. Okay. So procedure means what? It is a series of operations. So a series of operation which is been performed in order to get the desired output. So those series of operation is called as what? Procedures. Next one is what is data? So they might ask for 1 mark. So data means what? It is a fact. So it may be in the form of text or in the form of numbers or any other symbols. So whatever the user will feed into the computer, that is the raw data, that is known as or raw information or raw text or raw numbers, that is known as what? Data. So data are facts and may consist of numbers, text, etc. Then it will be converted into information. But whatever the user will feed into the computer, that is called as what? Data. So we have discussed few topics today relating to this chapter 12 and have shown you what are the expected questions from this particular chapter, that is the concepts what we have discussed today. So in my next session, I am going to discuss few more concepts, that is capabilities of computer system, limitations of computer system and components of computer. So these are also few of the important concepts. As I told you, you might get a 5 marks practical oriented question. So you will get a practical oriented question section on this components of computer, where you have to draw a diagram. Okay, so there also we have discussed few of the concepts, and let us see what are the expected questions from those concepts. So my dear students, hope you have understood today's session. See you all in my next session with the new topics. Till then, take care. Thank you.